Hi and welcome one more time to this series. In this case, we're gonna look at Google Slides. In this case, Google Slides is the comparable version as Microsoft PowerPoint, as most people know it. And you see it in different formats, such as this format with this kind of a menu. Then you have another format like this one. In this case, is just all darker menu, but still the same type of format. And if you have a Mac, there's actually this application called give me a second, Keynote. The Keynote application is another type of PowerPoint, and you can see the termination is different. Normally the termination for a PowerPoint file, like in this case, let me just title Mac Keynote in this case for this title. Then I could go and I would just save this document, so later on I will show you what I'm gonna do with this, and I can export it to PowerPoint. You want to export it to PowerPoint before you share it to somebody else, because unless they have the same Keynote program, they will not be able to see it if they don't have it. So we're gonna export it, and you can see the termination. Sometimes it's slightly different, but it goes around the same kind of letters. Now we export it, it creates it, converts it to PowerPoint, and there we have it. Now let's keep exploring what happens here. If we go to Slides, Google Slides, we're gonna get to see all the information that we have right now, all these presentations we have available on our drive. But then let's look at the templates available. In this case, there's a lot of options, just like in Word and like any other program. You have all the options, different templates already created for you. You want to use one of the templates created for you already, because that saves you time, and then you don't have to worry about the type of colors to use, or you just do a little change once and there you have it, or the type of font to use. In this case, let's say I'm gonna use the consulting proposal, just to show you how one of these templates would look in theory. So the same thing applies for this program, the Google Slides, as for the Word program. Is the same thing. You can share it, you can look at the past history or edits here. This document saves automatically, so if I do like for example festival proposal, you can see it's saving, and it's saved to the drive. So I'm gonna change the title here to festival proposal, and so I'm also gonna start it, which means it's gonna become a favorite. So now going back here to the email, and I look at my Google Drive, I'm gonna be able to see this document on my Google Drive now. So as festival proposal, I scroll down, and there you go, there it is, and it has the little star. Now I go to the star, and then I'm gonna be able to see it there. So just in case I need to access it quickly or something. Now I want to talk a little bit about some tips regarding doing a presentation. First of all, simple slides are better. Just like in this template, this is very simple, but this is much better than having the slide full of information. Show an image or write a short list of bullet points, step 1 to 5. Now, like for example, step 1, step 2, step 3, and a couple sentences. You don't want to overwhelm your audience with a lot of information. You have to keep blank spaces. Like for example, here there's a lot of blank space. Over here there was a lot of blank space again, and you see it here again, and just very few write up in here. Now if you have numbers, it's much better to show them in the form of a graph if you can, or an image representing these numbers. because your audience is going to understand them better. So show them a simple graph so they can understand. And just review your presentation. That way you're gonna know it, or write something. You can use the part down here to write some notes, and that way as you're doing your presentation, you are gonna be able to be reading your notes or looking at your notes as you're doing your presentation. Now, the great thing about using a system like this, Google Slides, and that you can use it on the web, is that if, for example, you forget your computer, or you just let me see, or you just didn't save it on a USB, and then you have to transfer it somewhere else, like to somebody else, you can email it to them or do things like that, or you can share the document to somebody else and they can access it. Now, that is useful, especially because no matter in what computer you access it, using this Google Slides, it will not change the template. If you access it on a Mac or a Windows computer, the template is going to be the same. It's Google Slides. But if you have a PowerPoint presentation on your Mac, and then you switch back to a Windows computer with your PowerPoint presentation, then sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes the format changes. And if you spend a lot of time doing that presentation, and you find out last minute that the format changed because you couldn't connect your Mac computer and they had a Windows computer available, then that's it. Your items, whatever you have in there, is gonna be all moved around. You don't want that to happen. So stay with something that's gonna stay constant. That's one of the things I would recommend with this program, for example. If you want to share it, again, the same thing happens, just like you have been sharing them all the time, like that we have discussed. You can copy the link, change the restrictions. In this case, if you only want them to view it or comment on it, in this case I just want them to view the presentation. Don't do anything because it's a presentation for me. I just want them to view it, and okay, I'm done. I could email it to someone and we will be done. Now I'm gonna go ahead and close it for the moment, and I'm gonna let's see what happens if I, for example, make an email, and to myself, in this case, presentation. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and upload the documents that I saved earlier, the one that it's in Keynote for if you have a Mac, and the regular PowerPoint presentation. So let's say I save it, I upload it here, and then I send it to myself. Okay, these two are uploaded. I send them. Okay, let's look what happens. So as you can see on the options, you can save both. Okay, I'm gonna save this one and save this one, but you can see that only the one in the format of the PowerPoint, the universal format, that one you can convert it to Google Slides, but the one that ends in Keynote, you cannot. There's no option for that. So that's why you have to make sure to have it in the universal format, because unless I have this application, I'll be able to open this file. Otherwise, I'm not gonna even be able to see it. So that's just a note for you to keep in mind. Now that we're looking at the email, I want to bring up something regarding when you create an email. So let's say you're composing an email, and let's say that this presentation I want it to be sent out on a specific day. Presentation. Okay, please let me know, or let me know when you want to meet for a presentation or something. When to meet, and regarding the presentation or something. So as you can see right here next to the send, there's an option there. If you're not using this option, you're losing a little bit of time, basically. because if you're sending a reminder, for example, reminder, we forget to send reminders sometimes, so you want to schedule those emails. And let's say that I want to send it in the, well, I'm gonna pick a date, let's say one day before the event or something, or before Saturday, because the Saturday will be like the event, and then okay, on Friday. So I'm gonna send, let's say, a reminder about the presentation or something. So we're gonna schedule it. When you schedule it, then it's gonna be on this folder called schedule, and then you don't have to worry about it. It's just automatically gonna be sent to the person on that specific day, in this case the July 10th. And that's very efficient, and especially if you have a meeting going on and you want to send 2 reminders before the meeting, then I go ahead and create the 2 reminders right now, and then the meeting is today, then let's say 2 hours before, in 2 hours reminder, meeting in 2 hours. Then you can schedule, and just if you have the meeting at, I don't know, 7, so then you make it let's say on the 10th, and you send it 2 hours before, so that will be 4 p.m. Oh, there you go. So we send it 2 hours before, schedule send, and they were gonna receive that email sent to them 2 hours before the meeting. So that is it for now. Thank you for being here, and we will continue with the next presentation, and the next in this case is gonna be Excel or Google Sheets. So see you on the next video. Thank you.